I'm thrilled to release this newest blend of flower essences called True Strength. I believe it is what we all need right now, from collective to individual. Collectively, we're all sort of asking the question, where is my community? Where's my sense of support? Where's my protection? Do I have the people around me that I need around me? Where's my sense of stability? And that forces us also to look individually and face any old wounding or core issues around 5 major themes. One being separation. So this sense of, are we really separate? Are we alone, lonely, or are we feeling connected and interconnected with all of the people around us? It's also asking us to look at abandonment issues. When do we experience this fear of loss or fear of rejection? When do we feel embraced, either within ourselves or the people around us? Also, we're looking at the sense of completion. When do we feel like we want to look outside of ourselves for any sense of love, affection, stability, support, versus feeling self-completed, feeling like we have everything inside of ourselves that we need and we feel whole. Also looking at the divine masculine. So there are, in the United States, there are 1/3 of us that have grown up without biological fathers. And then of the rest of the 2/3, some of us have grown up with stepfathers or other father figures. But there's quite a significant population of us who have grown up without father figures. And so that definitely takes a toll on us in ways, from feeling abandoned, or like we didn't get enough attention, or we didn't have that fatherly strength or stability or support, or there was something missing. And so this particular blend of flower essences is helping us develop that divine masculine and those divine masculine qualities within ourselves so that we can find that balance no matter how we grew up in childhood. And the 5th is moving from this sort of expecting the worst, complaining, kind of jumping to negative or worst case scenarios, and really transitioning that into what's the best possible outcome and seeing infinite possibilities and opportunities before us. I'll tell you a little bit individually about each of the flowers in the blends. First, I'm going to start with the one that's featured on the bottle. This is the Pink Torch Ginger flower. We collected it in Singapore in Southeast Asia. It's used in cooking. It looks like a giant pink lotus just popping out of the ground, like a forest lotus. And it is in the ginger family. This is such a unique and interesting flower. I call it the sacred sting. What it does is it helps us unearth little wounded parts within us. We use current day scenarios to touch into those wounded parts so we can unearth and release and ultimately liberate those patterns that are sort of running in the background. So what it does is it helps us identify and clean out those wounds. And it doesn't always help to clean out a wound, right? If you've been cut and you pour a bunch of HP, hydrogen peroxide on it, or you wash out a wound, it doesn't always feel good. So there is that. That's why I call it the sacred sting. It's like cleaning out those old wounds. And this has such a special capacity because what it's doing is operating within our system to identify not only childhood patterns, but beyond that. It can be intergenerational patterns. It can be something that happened to your great auntie that has affected your family lineage and is in your operating system or your behavioral patterns because of your family lineage. It can also work on past life patterns if that's something that you believe in. So what it does also is it helps us dissolve any sense of separation, loneliness, withdrawal, isolation, feeling like we're here all alone, and really brings us into more of a space of feeling interconnected, feeling connected to the people around us, a deeper sense of intimacy and understanding. And it also, above all else, helps us really be able to develop a deeper devotion, understanding, and compassion for ourselves, which is ultimately what helps us liberate those old patterns. The next plant in this blend is the redwood tree. Redwood trees are some of the most ancient trees on the planet. They grow in circular communities. A forest of redwoods is like a whole community of communicating plants. They have incredible wisdom. And in terms of the essence, they bring within all of us a sense of divine masculine, a sense of community, belonging, feeling home, a sense of warmth, patience, generosity, stability, foundation. So anytime that, let's say in childhood, we felt like we didn't have a father figure, or he was too abusive, or not around enough, or disappeared, or we didn't get the kind of love that we, in our survival years felt like we needed from our father figures. This tree essence comes in to help us really get rooted and really feel a sense of a strong foundation, strength in our spine, and a sense of feeling like we're in the right place at the right time, rather than longing for something, yearning for something, feeling like something is missing in our lives. We feel the sense of everything is in its rightful place, and we are circled by support. The third essence that goes into the True Strength blend is the horsetail. I love this plant. It is a living fossil. One of its main qualities is determination, and talk about tenacity. This is a plant that was around 300 million years ago when the dinosaurs were around. One of the only plants that remains from that time, literally a living fossil. They used to be the size of palm trees. Now they're, only a few feet high. So they have evolved, but they are still here. And this particular essence really awakens a sense of determination, strength, momentum, pulling ourselves out of the details and being stuck, and really finding a sense of moving forward. It also gives us strength. If you look at the little segments, it's almost like bones. It gives us spinal column strength, and it liberates more radiance in the face. And that makes sense, because if you think about the herbal qualities of horsetail, many of the herbalists put it into nutritive formulas because there are so many minerals in horsetail, and minerals are what the body needs, and frankly what we're lacking a lot of today. We need minerals to keep the electricity moving within the body, electricity like flower essences and earth frequencies. Horsetail is also helpful for when we feel exhausted, tired, stretched too thin, and we find ourselves overexerting. It really helps us bring our energy in to the core, into our spine, and be able to have that one pointed action. The final flower in True Strength is the strawberry blossom. Strawberry blossom, interestingly enough, was used in the 15th century by monks for sadness. As a flower essence, it's for optimism. So for those times when you find yourself waiting for the other shoe to drop, when you find yourself envisioning all the worst case scenarios, or complaining or nagging, or like thinking about all the worst things that are happening and expecting the worst to happen, it really helps us let go of worry and nervous thoughts and embrace more optimistic thinking, like the best is about to happen. There are limitless possibilities and opportunities, and we are open to all of them. Okay, so who is this True Strength blend for? It is for anyone who has abandonment issues, anyone who has father wounding, anyone who is experiencing any type of longing or missing or yearning for something outside of ourselves. It could be for divorce or single parenting. It can be anyone with childhood experiences of feeling unsafe or unprotected or neglected. It is also helpful for people who just got the rug pulled out from underneath them, whether it's losing a job, being fired, losing a significant relationship. It is for anyone who feels a lack of support from their family or their friends right now. This is a good blend to use when you feel like you are looking for love or protection or affection outside of yourself. And it's also if you find yourself either complaining or expecting the worst, so that you can transition that into expecting the best. So how will you feel after working with True Strength? A renewed sense of support, stability, determination, strength, community, sense of belonging, sense of being at home in your body and with the people that you surround yourself with. You will experience a new sense of courage and intimacy because you'll no longer have that fear of loss or fear of abandonment. So you'll be able to go out on a limb and take risks and be bolder and do things that you would not ordinarily do because you have this newfound strength, and ultimately you know that whatever happens, you're going to be okay. That you feel less rejected, less worried about being alone and lonely, knowing that you are totally self-completed and whole within yourself. You will also have a greater capacity to look at old wounds of the heart, to really unearth all of that crazy stuff, to be able to look at it, to be able to embrace it with compassion and loving attention and presence, so that you can ultimately liberate it. And you will also feel open to a tremendous sense of possibility and opportunity coming your way. So if you at this moment in time are looking for more boldness, more courage, more strength, more self-completion, more sense of wholeness and community, true strength. I'll tell you a little bit about the aromatherapy profile because it's really different. We would call it a wood resin. And it's like unlike anything we've ever done before. It has notes of chocolate and caramel and vanilla and tobacco. I think of it as like hot sun streaming in a forest and maybe a campfire with some gooey, caramely marshmallows and chocolate and a little bit of pinch of tobacco, or like, tobacco on the collar of a man's shirt or something. All of that put together is true strength. I know you're gonna love it, and we need it. So whether it's individually or collectively, I really feel strongly that we need to anchor in this sense of community, home, belonging, strength, being able to unearth and uproot old patterns so that we can collectively and individually feel more strength.